Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asks BTV members to discharge their duties with an attitude to serve the nation.
দেশ ও জাতির প্রতি একটা সেবার মনোভাব নিয়ে নিজের দায়িত্ব কর্তব্য পালন করতে হবে। দেশকে ভালোবাসতে হবে, মানুষকে ভালোবাসতে হবে, মানুষের জন্য কাজ করতে হবে। মনে রাখতে হবে এই দেশ অর্থনৈতিকভাবে যত উন্নত হবে আপনাদের পরিবারগুলো উন্নত হবে।
President Abdul Hamid calls upon scouts to create awareness about corona health guidelines among people. Emancipation of democracy made but could not be institutionalized because of evil forces, says Ibadul Qadir. Dishonor to Bangabandhu not to be tolerated, says Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood, urging journalists to be vocal against forces trying to take society back to dark age. Antigen test of corona begins in 10 districts, reports to be available within 30 minutes. Bangladesh and Bhutan sign preferential trade agreement tomorrow. And Russia commences mass corona vaccination. Bahrain approves Pfizer vaccine. Assalamu alaikum viewers. I'm Tanzila Mana Sultana, welcoming you all to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center. You have just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has asked the border guard Bangladesh to restrict smuggling apart from protecting the country's independence and sovereignty. The Prime Minister said these while virtually attending the course completion parade of BGB 95th batch from her official residence Gonobhavan. The parade was held at BGB Training Center and College at Shatkhania in Chattogram today. She asked the BGB personnel to discharge their duties and responsibilities, adopting mentality of service towards the country and nation, mentioning that discipline is very important for any force. Sheikh Hasina said, always remember that discipline is most important for any force. Talking about the second wave of COVID-19, she urged all to stay alert about it and follow the health guidelines to keep safe from this deadly disease. Sheikh Hasina asked the newly recruited BGB personnel to perform the basic 4 principles of the force: morale, brotherhood, discipline and skill with sincerity and honesty.
আমাদের বর্ডারের যে মূল নীতিগুলি সেই নীতিগুলি মনে রাখতে হবে। একটা হচ্ছে দৃঢ় মনোবল থাকতে হবে, ভ্রাতৃত্ববোধ থাকতে হবে, শৃঙ্খলা বজায় রেখে চলতে হবে, দক্ষতা অর্জন করতে হবে। কাজে এই 4 মূলনীতিটা আপনারা অবশ্যই মনে প্রাণে আপনারা পালন করবেন, নিষ্ঠার সাথে পালন করবেন, সততার সাথে পালন করবেন। কারণ দেশটা আমাদের, আপনাদের সকলের। এই দেশ ভালো হলে আপনারই বাবা মা ভাই বোন যারা তারাই এবং আপনার ভবিষ্যৎ বংশধর তারাই সুন্দরভাবে বাঁচতে পারবে। সেই কথাটা সব সময় আপনার মনে রাখতে হবে। এই করোনার যে ব্যাপকতা দেখা যাচ্ছে এটাকে মোকাবেলা করার যা যা করণীয় ইতিমধ্যে তার জন্য আমরা পদক্ষেপ নিচ্ছি। তাছাড়া ভ্যাকসিন করার জন্য ইতিমধ্যে আমরা টাকা বরাদ্দ দিয়ে সেটাও আমরা নির্দেশ দিয়ে যথাযথ ব্যবস্থা আমরা নিয়েছি। আপনারা প্রত্যেকে নিজে নিজে সুরক্ষিত থাকবেন, আপনার সাথে পরিবারকে সুরক্ষিত থাকার নির্দেশ দেবেন, স্বাস্থ্য বিধি মেনে চলবেন, যেন করোনা ভাইরাসে আমাদের কোনো ক্ষতি করতে না পারে তার জন্য সকলে সচেতন থাকবেন।
Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan and Senior Secretary of Public Security Division of Home Ministry Mustafa Kamaluddin also spoke virtually at the program from the Home Ministry. BGP Director General Major General Muhammad Shafinul Islam delivered the welcome speech. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid urged the Scouts to come forward in making the people aware to follow the health rules for preventing the spread of coronavirus. The President made the call while inaugurating the 49th General Meeting of the National Council of Bangladesh Scouts through a video message at Osmani Memorial Auditorium this afternoon. The President said the world is in turmoil because of corona pandemic, highlighting the timely steps taken by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to deal with corona. President Abdul Hamid said Bangladesh is successfully facing the corona situation. The President said there is no alternative of following hygiene rules to prevent coronavirus infection. It is unfortunate but true that there is a lack of awareness among the common people. The President said the government has set a target to transform the country into a middle income by 2021 and a developed one by 2041. Appreciating the role of Bangladesh Scouts in building efficient and competent leadership, President Abdul Hamid emphasized on making the youth skilled to build hunger and poverty-free developed Bangladesh as dreamt by the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman.
করোনা ভাইরাসের সংক্রমণ ঠেকাতে স্বাস্থ্যবিধি মেনে চলার কোনো বিকল্প নেই, কিন্তু দুর্ভাগ্যজনক হলো সত্য যে এই ব্যাপারে সাধারণ মানুষের মাঝে সচেতনতার যথেষ্ট অভাব রয়েছে। আমি মনে করি স্কাউট সদস্যরা এই ব্যাপারে বিশেষ করে করোনা মোকাবেলায় জনগণকে স্বাস্থ্যবিধি মেনে চলতে সচেতন করার ক্ষেত্রে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা রাখতে পারে।
Advisor of Bangladesh Scouts Muhammad Abdul Karim, President of Bangladesh Scouts Muhammad Abul Kalam Azad and Chief National Commissioner Dr. Muhammad Muzammil Haq Khan spoke at the function. In the program, 24 Scouts were given Silver Tiger and 24 were given Silver Hilsha award for their outstanding contribution in intensifying the Scout movement. Newly appointed Bangladesh High Commissioner to Canada, Dr. Khalilur Rahman, called on President Mohammad Abdul Hamid at Bangabhavan this evening. In a briefing, President's Press Secretary Mohammad Jainal Abidin told that during the meeting, the new High Commissioner sought the President's cooperation in discharging his duties. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid said the relation between Bangladesh and Canada is very excellent, mentioning that Canada is one of the export destinations and development partner of Bangladesh. The President asked the new Bangladesh envoy to work for strengthening relations including trade and investment with Canada during his tenure. President's Office Secretary Shampod Borua, Military Secretary Major General S.M. Shamimuzzaman and Secretary attached to the President's Office Muhammad Wahidul Islam Khan were present. Awami League General Secretary Ubaidul Qadir has said no political party other than the Awami League practices democracy inside the party, though it is needed to give the country's democracy an institutional shape. He said this while talking to reporters after paying tributes to Hussein Shohid Sohrawardi by placing a wreath at his grave at Teen Netar Majar near Doel Chottor in the capital on the late leader's 57th death anniversary. Pointing to BNP, the minister said a quarter always talks about democracy, but their behavior never revealed that they believe in democracy.
Hussein Sohrawardi প্রয়াণ দিবসে আমাদের প্রতিজ্ঞা হবে গণতন্ত্রকে প্রাতিষ্ঠানিক রূপ দেওয়া। এদেশে একটি মহল আছে যারা মুখে গণতন্ত্র বললেও তারা আচরণে তাদের কর্মকাণ্ডে কখনো গণতন্ত্রে বিশ্বাসী নয়। ভাস্কর্যের বিরুদ্ধে যারা কথা বলে তারা কি জানে না সৌদি আরব সহ মুসলিম দেশগুলোতে সারা বিশ্বে এ ভাস্কর্য আছে। ভাস্কর্য যদি ইসলাম বিরোধী না হয় বাংলাদেশে কেন?
Later, the Awami League's Dhaka Metropolitan North and South units, Awami Jubo League, Awami Shechashibok League, Bangladesh Chhatra League, Krishak League, Shromik League and other associate bodies of the Awami League paid homage to Hussein Shahid Sohrawardi. Different socio-cultural and professional organizations, including Bangabandhu Sanskritik Jot, also paid homage. With the progress of time, the grave of democracy icon Hussein Shahid Sohrawardi was covered with flowers. Awami League General Secretary Ubaidul Qadir has said it is part of the opportunistic character of BNP to shout that there is no democracy in the country. Ubaidul Qadir made the remarks while addressing Engineers Association Summit organized by Roads and Highways Department. He joined the summit through video conference from his official residence in the capital today. Ubaidul Qadir said DMP can take any measure to maintain law and order and to give security to the city dwellers in the metropolitan areas.
রাজধানী ঢাকা শহরে সভা সমাবেশ আয়োজনের পর ঢাকা মেট্রোপলিটন পুলিশ একটি সার্কুলার জারি করেছে। নিয়ে বিএনপি নেতারা বিভিন্ন বক্তব্য রাখছেন, কেউ কেউ সমালোচনা করছেন। কিন্তু কেন এ নিয়ে সমালোচনা? সভা সমাবেশে অনুমতির বিষয়টি এটা কি নতুন কিছু? পুলিশ জাস্ট স্মরণ করিয়ে দিয়েছে যে কোনো সভা সমাবেশ করতে হলে পূর্বানুমতি নিতে হয় এবং অনুমতি নিয়ে সভা সমাবেশ করতে হয়। এটা তো নতুন কোনো বিষয় নয়, সরকারের নতুন কোনো আচমকা সিদ্ধান্ত নয় যে এ কারণে অহেতুক বিরূপ সমালোচনা করতে হবে। বিএনপি আজকে যে কথা বলেন গণতন্ত্রের যাত্রা বিঘ্নিত হচ্ছে, গণতান্ত্রিক অধিকার ক্ষুণ্ণ হচ্ছে, এসব বিষয় যখন তারা অবতারণা করেন তখন আমি তাদের স্মরণ করিয়ে দিতে চাই, আপনারা যখন ক্ষমতায় ছিলেন কোন সভা কোন সমাবেশ আওয়ামী লীগ বিনা অনুমতিতে করতে পেরেছে?
Giving warning to engineers, the Road Transport and Bridges Minister Ubaidul Qadir said stern action will be taken in case of any kind of corruption in road construction. Roads and Highways Department Secretary Mohammad Nazrul Islam, Chief Engineer of Roads and Highways Department and other high officials were present in the summit. Information Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood has warned that defamation of Bangabandhu will not be tolerated under any circumstances. He was speaking at a program in Chattogram today organized to hand over books to the Chattogram Press Club by Bangladesh Press Council marking the Mujib Borsha. The Information Minister called upon journalists to be vocal against the people and their patrons who want to take back the society to the medieval period.
মুজিব বর্ষের শেষের দিকে এসে আজকে নানাভাবে বিতর্ক তৈরি করার অপচেষ্টা চালানো হচ্ছে। নানা প্রসঙ্গ টেনে এনে বিতর্ক করার চেষ্টা করা হচ্ছে। আমরা কোনোভাবেই কোনো ইস্যুতে বঙ্গবন্ধুর অবমাননা সহ্য করা হবে না, সহ্য করতে পারি না। যারা সমাজকে পিছিয়ে দিতে চায়, সমাজকে যারা মধ্যযুগে নিয়ে যেতে চায়, যারা মধ্যযুগীয় সমাজ ব্যবস্থা কায়েম করতে চায় এবং মধ্যযুগীয় সমাজ ব্যবস্থা যারা কায়েম করতে চায় তাদেরকে যারা পৃষ্ঠপোষকতা করে তাদের বিরুদ্ধেও আজকে কলম নিয়ে সোচ্চার হওয়ার সময় এসেছে। তা আমি সাংবাদিক সমাজকে অনুরোধ জানাবো, যারা সমাজে হানাহানি তৈরি করতে চায়, নানা ইস্যু তৈরি করে বঙ্গবন্ধুকে অবমাননা করতে চায়, তাদের বিরুদ্ধে সোচ্চার হওয়ার জন্য। আর বঙ্গবন্ধুকে কোনোভাবেই অবমাননা আমরা সহ্য করতে পারি না, সহ্য করা হবে না।
Later, Dr. Hassan Mahmood handed over books to the authorities of the Chattogram Press Club. Bangladesh Press Council Chairman, former Justice Mohammad Momtazuddin Ahmed presided over the program. Daily Azadi editor A.M.A. Malik, Press Council member Abdul Mazid, Bangladesh Federal Union of Journalists Vice President Riaz Haidar Chaudhuri, Chattogram Press Club's acting president Salauddin Reza and General Secretary Chaudhuri Farid, among others, were present. Antigen test of COVID-19 has begun in test 10 districts of the country from today. In the first phase, tests are being undergoing in Gaibandha, Panchgor, Jaipurhat, Jashore, Meherpur, Brahmanbaria, Potuakhali, Munshiganj, Madaripur and Sylhet districts. Health Minister Zahid Malik inaugurated the program through video conference today. Those who are the suspected patients of the coronavirus will get the opportunity of the antigen examination. The blood test of the patient takes 15 to 30 minutes time only. The Health Directorate informed that adequate number of quality kits have been imported for the test. The Health Directorate also informed that the antigen examination will be done in all the districts across the country in phases. 35 COVID-19 patients died in the country in the last 24 hours, increasing the death toll from the pandemic to 6,807. The recovery count rose to 3,93,408 after another 2,457 recovered during the period. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services published it today. It said the tally of the infection surged to 4,75,889 with 1,888 new cases being confirmed. Bangladesh will sign its maiden preferential trade agreement with Bhutan tomorrow, a move which is expected to boost the bilateral trade between the two neighboring countries in the coming years. Commerce Minister Tipu Munshi said these while addressing a press conference at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital this afternoon ahead of the historic PTA signing ceremony tomorrow. The Commerce Minister informed that he himself would sign the agreement on behalf of Bangladesh, which is also the country's first such bilateral preferential trade agreement. The Economic Affairs Minister of Bhutan, Leonpo Loknath Sharma, will sign the agreement on behalf of the Bhutanese side. He said Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, and her Bhutanese counterpart, Dr. Lota Tshering, will join the event virtually. Now, international news.
নির্দিষ্ট স্থান ছাড়া বাস থামিয়ে আপনি যানজটের সৃষ্টি করছেন। যেখানে সেখানে বাস থামাবেন না। চলন্ত বাসে যাত্রী ওঠানামা করাবেন না। ইন্টারসেকশন থেকে দূরে বাস স্ট্যান্ডে এবং নির্দিষ্ট জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে যাত্রী ওঠানামা করাবেন। আপনার সামান্য অবহেলায় হতাহত হতে পারে বহু প্রাণ। আড়াআড়িভাবে বাস থামিয়ে অন্য যানবাহনের চলাচলের বাধা সৃষ্টি করবেন না। ট্রাফিক আইন অমান্য করে প্রতিযোগিতামূলকভাবে গাড়ি চালাবেন না। সড়কে আর কত ঝরবে তাজা প্রাণ, আর কত স্বজনের আহাজারি। আসুন সচেতন হই, ট্রাফিক আইন মেনে চলি। জনস্বার্থে ট্রাফিক বিভাগ, ঢাকা মেট্রোপলিটন পুলিশ।
Russia is starting its COVID-19 vaccination program, with clinics in Moscow inoculating those most at risk from the virus. Its own vaccine, Sputnik V, which was registered in August, is being used. Developers say it is 95% effective and causes no major side effects, but it is still undergoing mass testing. Meanwhile, Bahrain said it had approved the emergency use of a COVID-19 vaccine developed by Pfizer and German partner BioNTech. The approval on Friday makes Bahrain the second country in the world to grant an emergency use authorization for the vaccine. Meanwhile, President-elect Joe Biden says Americans won't be forced to take a coronavirus vaccine when one becomes available in the U.S. It comes as the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, for the first time urged universal mask use indoors unless when Americans are at their own home. COVID-19 global death toll crosses 15,27,000 as more than 12,000 people died yesterday globally. More than 6,64,17,000 are infected globally, and more than 4,59,85,000 people have recovered so far. Iran plans to install hundreds more advanced uranium-enriching centrifuges at an underground plant in breach of its deal with global powers, according to a United Nations nuclear watchdog report. The confidential International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA report obtained by the Reuters news agency on Friday said Iran plans to install 3 more cascades or clusters of advanced IR-2M centrifuges in the underground plant at Natanz, which was apparently built to withstand aerial bombardment. Iran's nuclear deal with Western powers says Tehran can only use first-generation IR-1 centrifuges, which are less efficient at the underground plant, and that those are the only machines with which Iran may accumulate enriched uranium. Emphasizing the importance of soil for food and nutrition security of the people, Agriculture Minister Dr. Mohammad Abdul Razak said the quality of soil must be maintained as human livelihoods and food security depend on sustainable soil management. The Agriculture Minister said these while speaking as the chief guest at a seminar on showcasing and soil care held at a hotel in the capital on the occasion of World Soil Day today. Fisheries and Livestock Minister A.S.M. Razaul Kareem and Agriculture Secretary M. Misbahul Islam also spoke at the seminar with the Director General of Soil Resources Development Institute, Bidhan Kumar Bhandar, in the chair. Agriculture Minister said the soil must be kept alive and the quality of the soil must be maintained not only in the agriculture sector but also the fish, livestock and poultry food comes from the soil. Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives Minister Mohammad Tazul Islam has said a national volunteer policy will be formulated in the country to recognize the work of volunteers and bring them under one framework. The minister made the announcement while addressing a function on the occasion of International Volunteer Day and award distribution at a hotel in the capital today. The event was jointly organized by the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives Department of Youth Development, Ministry of Youth and Sports, UNV Bangladesh and WaterAid. Among others, Senior Secretary of Local Government Department Hilaluddin, Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office Sultan Afroz, Secretary of the Technical and Madrasa Education Department Aminul Islam Khan and UN Resident Coordinator Mia Seppo were present at the function. Presided over by Youth and Sports Secretary Mohammad Akhtar Hussain. Later, LGRD Minister handed over the prizes to 18 volunteers for their contribution to the service. Film and Television Department of the Canadian University of Bangladesh arranged the Best Achievers Award giving function in Dhaka today. Director General of Bangladesh Television BTV S.M. Haruna Rashid was present at the function as chief guest and gave away the prizes among the recipients. Head of the Film and Television Department Dr. Zohir Bishash conducted the function. Among others, Executive Chairman of the Board of Trustee of the University Shahanul Hassan Khan, Vice Chancellor of the University Dr. Muhammad Mahfuzul Islam and teachers and students of different faculties were present on the occasion. In all, 18 students of the Film and Television Department were given awards in 6 categories for their best performances as director, script writer, cameraman, editing and acting. Now news on sports. West Indies trailed by 185 runs against New Zealand at the stumps of Day 3 in the first test of the 2-match series in Hamilton. At the end of the day, the Caribbean scored 196 runs for 6 in the second innings. Blackwood and Joseph were on the crease with 80 and 59 runs respectively. Earlier, West Indies started their third day's batting with an overnight score of 49 runs for no loss. They were all out on 138 runs in their first innings and faced follow-on. New Zealand declared their first innings on 519 runs for 7, while captain Ken Williamson scored 251 runs. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asks BGB members to discharge their duties with an attitude to serve the nation. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid calls upon scouts to create awareness about corona health guidelines among people. Emancipation of democracy made but could not be institutionalized because of evil forces, says Ubadul Qadir. Dishonor to Bangabandhu not to be tolerated, says Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood, urging journalists to be vocal against forces trying to take society back to dark age. Antigen test of corona begins in 10 districts, reports to be available within 30 minutes. Bangladesh and Bhutan sign preferential trade agreement tomorrow. And Russia commences mass corona vaccination. Bahrain approves Pfizer vaccine. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 p.m. Bangla News. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.